Shit, I've just been babbling on about nothing. Sorry, Anne. Sorry, everyone. I'll edit that out afterwards. Yeah, I have been working from last week, as I was saying, last week on the Wednesday and Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, I downloaded 2,000 files. And I downloaded it onto my laptop, then transferred them over to my USB. So I could clear it off my laptop. Me stupidly left my USB plugged in. When I came to get the information ready to go live, I think I was going to go live Friday night. No, I wasn't feeling well Friday, so I didn't go live. Really wasn't. Right? So I was going to go live Sunday. And I didn't, because I was still looking for these files that I had downloaded once, but they'd all been deleted. They'd all been took off my USB. Every one of them. And I swear to God, it's like they've literally just dumped every piece of file, every piece of work they've got, paperwork, they've just put it in. Filed it. Boom, 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 boom. From emails that just say hello, or emails that just say thank you, or emails that say feck all in them, emails that are just literally blacked out all the way through. So, and as I said, I'm only on set 8. And I think there's something like, I've got up to I've got set 12. So I've got set 9 to do, set 10, 11 and 12. But in each set, like in this set 8, there's over, and I mean over 100 links. And then each one you click on, there's 50 other PDFs to download. So it's taken a long time. And I literally get up in the morning, I have a coffee, I have smoke, I have a quick tidy around, see to my cats, right? And then about 1 o'clock, 1 o'clock-ish, I grab some snacks, sit down at my desk, turn my laptop on, boom, I'm there then from that time until I go to bed. Well, I normally switch off about 10:30, go to bed about 11-ish, 11:30-ish. But, oh my God. And Prince Andrew, I'm glad he's not longer got the title Prince Andrew. I'm glad. He don't deserve that title. His name comes up in these files so many times. And there's one email where he gives himself away because he goes, where was it? Somewhere with the girls, right? They're being out doing some activities during the day. And he said, the girls are tired, so it looks like I'll be putting them to bed early tonight. And I'm thinking, what? And then, oh dear, we've got one. Oh, heartbreaking for Andy. His butler died. Right, which is sad. Rest in peace, whoever he was. But apparently he'd had this butler since he was a little lad. He was lost without this butler. He didn't know what to do. I thought, oh, you got no one to wipe your ass no more. You know what I mean? I thought, oh, for feck's sake. I could quite easily fill my jar up just on one live doing this. So we've got a deposition of that piece of shit, not the prince, the ex-prince, I should say, not him. Got the deposition on Epstein, which I'm going to play. And I've also got there is no names to these pieces of work and these emails because they're from these. I won't call them victims. I call them survivors because they survived. Right? They survived. but he ruined so many lives. So many. Him and that piece of ish of a partner. And so I'm not joking, some of the emails I've been reading, it's about where she's not happy. Her lawyers are saying she's her cell, where she's being kept, is damp, it's cold, and she can't sleep, and she can't do this, and she's absolutely exhausted. She needs to be somewhere quieter. Yeah, I'll tell you what, we'll get the penthouse suite on the plaza, shall we? We'll put her in there. Go get the fuck. Right? I don't care. She's committed so many vile crimes. And she wants us to feel sorry for her. Not happening. Not happening. I've got to go into my USB. So I've got that plugged in. Live info out tonight. Right? And 2 of them I've got as a must read. Now I will say, when I come to them, trigger warning to anyone listening. I will give you plenty of time. I'll let you know when I'm going to come to them. Like I'll say, say we're looking at something else first. I'll say after we've done this, we're going to be looking at those emails. Well, they're not emails. They're like what they've wrote in a diary, sort of thing. Right? So we're going to have a look at that. And you know who else I feel sorry for? The guards in this special housing unit where Epstein was kept, where he hung himself. Oh, dear me, did he hang himself? Oh, dear. Because they didn't do their job. They wasn't checking on him. They didn't go around checking on all the cells. Even though they said they hadn't. They've got it on camera, they hadn't done it. Even though they signed the sheets off saying they had. So there was at fault there. They should have gone round and been checking. But you see, because they didn't go round checking, he was able to commit suicide. Get the hell. He'd have done it either way. Right? So we're going to be looking at that as well. So, what's this one? This first one I want to look at. I'll let you. Got that many pages, 9. Right. I'm going to put this up on the screen. I don't know where Neuro is. She wanted me to do this live. Alright, so I'm just getting it up on the screen for you. Let's take this off, and then I can bring myself down to here. Not that it will help anyone, really, because it's quite small writing. I don't know if you can see it or not, but I'm going to read it, okay? Now, as I said, this is trigger warning throughout. Trigger warning throughout. And, hold on. No, where is it? There's my disclosure. Right? There's my disclosure. It's got in the background. I'm not going through all this bit up here. It's not worth it. So it says background on criminal charges. The criminal charges against Jeffrey. I'm just going to say J-E and G-M. For Jeffrey Epstein, it's just going to be J-E. For Ghislaine Maxwell, it's going to be G-M. Okay? The criminal charges against J.E. and G.M. arise from a years-long scheme to recruit and entice minor girls into engaging in commercial sex acts. I'll have to watch what I say here. Specifically, sexualized massages, and related SX activity in exchange for money in locations including Manhattan and Palm Beach, Florida. In both Florida and New York, the charged scheme operated in nearly an identical fashion. J.E. victimized minor girls who were brought to his home to give J.E. erotic massages in exchange for hundreds of dollars, and then paid those individuals to recruit additional minor victims who typically ranged in age from 14 to 17 years old. Now, I'm sorry, but what I don't understand is these girls that went to his home, they knew what was happening, right? They knew, well, they didn't know at first, put it that way. But by the end of the evening or the end of the day, they did. So why would they go out and recruit more for him? Why go out and get your friends or your sisters or your cousins? You know, why? When you know what's going to happen. I don't care how much he was offering me. They didn't like it happening to them. So why would they bring in their own family and cousins and friends? Why? It doesn't make sense to me. The only reason I can think of is they was threatened. If you don't, then this can happen. You know what I mean? Right. Once the victims were alone with J.E., the massages became increasingly SX. Epstein's conduct, including, how can I word that? Included oh God, how can I word this? It's the hand job, put it that way. Included the hand job in front of victims, fondling their breasts, placing a VIB vibrator on their nether regions, and or directly touching their nether regions. Right? Some victims also continued to engage in such acts with Epstein after they were no longer minors. Why? Why did they continue? Right? The victims were typically paid by J.E. or his employees in cash. After their first visit to J.E.'s residences, victims usually were contacted via telephone by individuals who work for J.E., including Maxwell, to arrange additional massages. Now, massages was like a code word for him. Instead of saying, "Oh, go and get me a young girl for a sexual activity." Well, go and get these young girls and they can give me a massage. That's the code word. Right? In order to maintain a steady stream of underage girls to perform SX acts, Epstein also directed others, including some of his victims, to recruit other minor girls to engage in SX massages. Some victims brought just one or two friends, while others brought Epstein dozens of other girls. Why? When they knew they didn't like it, so why would they bring other girls knowing that what happened to them they didn't like is going to happen to them? While the above description summarises the charges against Epstein and Maxwell, note that the department is not limiting its redactions to victims of the charged offences. For purposes of this review and relevant reductions, victims include individuals identified as victims or potential victims through the department's prior prosecutions of Epstein and Maxwell, as well as all individuals who have directly or through counsel been identified, including self-identified, to the department as potential victims of state or federal offences or other claims of sex exploitation or misconduct by Epstein and Maxwell. Overview. The Epstein Files Transparency Act, published out 11938-139 Stat 656. The Act requires the Attorney General to produce all unclassified records, documents, communications, and investigative materials in Department of Justice possession that relate to 1. JE, including all investigations, prosecutions, or custodial matters. 2. GM, Ghislaine Maxwell. 3. Flight logs. Oh, that's what I had on my laptop, on my USB before last year, was the flight logs. I had all the flight logs. They went. Boom, poof. Right, flight logs or travel records, including but not limited to manifest initiaries, pilot records, and customs or immigration documentation for any aircraft, vessel, or vehicle owned, operated, or used by JE or any related entity. 4. Individuals, including government officials, named or referenced in connection with JE's criminal activities. Civil settlements, immunity, or plea agreements, or investigatory proceedings. You know what I mean? It just goes on and on and on. Right? And I thought, when I was looking at these files, I thought, I'd be here all day just reading one or two of these files, you know what I mean? Because normally when I read anything, I read it like, boom, I read it. Then I go back over it and read it a bit slower. Then the third time, I literally read each paragraph once and then go back over it again. So it could take me a whole day just to read this if I was to read it how I normally read anything. So it sticks up in my head. But I don't want it stuck up in my head. I don't want that in my head. I really don't. Because it's vile. And it goes on. Now, this is just a lot of courts, like the prosecution and defence counsel agreements and all this law. Right, so I'm not going to go through all that because I'm not here for that. I was just reading really the charges. Right? Thank you, Anne. So, as I said, I could be here all night just reading that one thing. And I don't want to be here all night reading that one thing. Oh, sugar. What have I done? Oh. Let's just start. Up to email. But what's annoying is, here, I'm going to show you this, right? I'm going to show you this one. Right? Now, this one isn't too bad. What the hell is going on here? My screen has gone really small. Let's go back to how it should be. Thank you. My screen went so small. If I need a magnifying glass just to see my little back screen. Back to stage. Right, now this is just one typical piece of work. See how it's all blacked out, right? Some work is so blacked out, it's like, you imagine, if I was reading that, I'd be going, to keep things organised, I'm going to send you, and it would have blank, several emails, blank, 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 in this blank notebook, blank. And I'm thinking, what the hell? Why have you blanked out a lot of the words? It don't make sense. You know what I mean? I can understand blanking out emails and names of any of the victims, but they should not be blanking out any names of the people involved. And they have. Oh, they have. They have blanked out a lot of their names as well. And people are not happy. And yet, some of the victims, some of their victims' names have been put out there. I haven't seen any yet. I have not seen one note like this, or one letter, or one email with any victims' names in it. But they say their names have been put out there. And as I said, I go through all the emails, every one of them. That's why 50 page, I've got 50 PDFs in one little file, right? One little file, and I've got 50 PDFs in that one file. And that's why one file is taking me so long to download, because I'm reading unless it's a very short email and I can see it without having to scroll down and all that lot. But I'm going through every email, just so that if there is any names there, I can blank them out myself before I put them up on here. Right? So everything in what I've got here, I've gone through, and there is no names in it at all. Well, there shouldn't be, because I did go through them. So, hold on. Oh, what am I going to do here? Screw it. I can't do it. I was going to take you in the other room, but I can't get the mic off. All right, never mind. But this is just a typical of what they're giving us, right? Some is like, you imagine this whole page being blacked out. Literally, boom, gone. Just black. And I had one file today, one PDF of 130 something or 150 something pages, and it's just all blacked out. Why have they put them in? Doesn't make sense. Why are they putting them files in? If they're blacked out, just don't put them in. You know what I mean? Because no one can see what you're putting it, what it's saying anyway. So if they come and say, "Oh, but you haven't given us all the files," say, "Do you want to have black pages? I can send you those files, but they're all blacked out. Do you want me to do that?" Because if it was me, I'd be going, "No, it's all right then. If they're all blacked out, then no." But I suppose they're doing it to cover their own backsides, so then no one can say, "Well, you haven't put all the files in." Right? So that's one typical of email that they do. But it's horrendous. And so, right, trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning, everyone. Because I'm now going to give you a minute or so. Hold on. What have we got here? Operation Loop here. What's this one? Alright. Oh, right. So I'm going to say trigger warning because it's after this piece of work that we're going to look at is when I'm going to pull up the work. That is really, I find heartbreaking. Right? I knew there's a reason I put this file in there. This is called Operation Leap Year. And it's the United States District Court, Southern District of Florida. Operation Leap Year. Federal Grand Jury. West Palm Beach, Florida, May the 8th, 2007. Right? Testimony of, and it doesn't give the name, we do know it's an FBI agent, but they're not showing the name. It says the sworn testimony of blank was taken before the federal grand jury, West Palm Beach Division, West Palm Beach, County, State of Florida, on the 8th day of May, 2007. Philip W. May, court reporter, was authorized to and did report the sworn testimony. So it's 8 pages longer and this page 3. So you've got about 45 more pages of this, okay? The witness entered the grand jury room, having been duly sworn by the grand jury foreperson and examined and testified on his oath as follows. Examination by MS. Question. Special Agent, could you state your spell, your name for the record? He does. Blank, blank, blank. Right? By whom are you employed? I'm employed by the FBI. What is your position with the FBI? I'm a special agent and have been for 4 years. Are you one of the agents assigned to the investigation known as Operation Leap Year? Yes, I am. Well, subpoenas caused to be issued on behalf of the grand jury in connection with that investigation. Yes. Oh, God. For some reason, my mouse is playing up and it's not doing what I want it to do. Right. And have documents been received in response to those? Yes. What additional subpoenas have been issued and what have you received in response? Additional subpoenas that have been issued, including OLY-28 to Colonial Bank, along with ORY 29, which was issued to Palm Beach National Bank and Trust Company, that was served on March 5th. It should be known that Palm Beach National Bank and Trust Company is now operated by Colonial Bank, which we learned in the insurance process. We did receive documents back from Colonial Bank which covered both subpoenas on April 25th, 2007. And those information related to bank accounts belonging to Epstein. That is correct. What else? Also served ORY 30 to Western Union Financial Services. And I must admit, there are documents I've downloaded where it mentions from the banks. Okay, from the banks. But as I said, that's all a different life. Right, that's a totally different life. Because related to Jeffrey, it was served on February 26, 2007, and received the items back from Western Union on 2 separate dates and 2 packages. The first on April 9th, 2007, the second on April 11th, 2007. And those sought records of wire transfers from Mr. Epstein to girls whom have been identified for this investigation. Yes. Who else? We also served ORY 31 to Western Union Financial Services. It was served on February 26, 2007, and they returned information which we received on May 3rd, 2007. Question: the same type of information? Yes, the same type of information, seeking wire transfer information from Jeffrey Epstein to victims. We also served ORY 32 to JP Morgan Chase Bank. After serving that one on February 26, 2007, they informed us by letter that they are known as Chase, not JP Morgan Chase. So we had to reissue another subpoena, which was taken care of March 22nd. We also issued ORY 40 on Chase Bank as well on April 4th, 2007. We received records on April 13th and April 19th to cover all 3 subpoenas that were served. And no sort of information related to bank accounts and credit cards related to the defendants. Yes. Additionally, we served ORY 33 on Dr. Thomas Rofano, who's chiropractic doctor. We were seeking records related to Jeffrey Epstein as a patient. The subpoenas were served on March 6, 2007, and Thomas TR provided materials on March 6, 2016, 2007. As we only have ORY 36, which was served on the Palm Beach County Health Department, it was served on March 5th, seeking birth certificates of our victims that we were researching. We received the records from the Palm Beach Health Department on April 16, 2007. Now, I didn't think they could get information like that. Not even the FBI. I didn't even think the FBI could get that medical information, like personal information about someone. Right? So, that's through me. We also served 2 subpoenas on the adult video warehouse. The first one was ORY 41, which was served both of these who served on April 24th, 2007, and they were seeking any transactions that had occurred on behalf of Mr. Epstein or those individuals that were working for him or with him. We received items back on the ORY 41 subpoena on April 30th, 2007. The second subpoena served on adult video warehouse was ORY 34. Again, it was served on April 24th, and the adult video warehouse complied and provided us materials on April 30th. That concludes all of the items that we have received to date for the outstanding subpoenas that were issued. Are the documents that you refer to in that box that's on the desk? Yes, they are. Does anyone want to review those documents at this time? No one is requesting that they want to review the documents today. Right, so no one wanted to review those documents. I'd have been going, yep, pass on me. Pass me them documents, every one of them. I'd have read every one of them. You know what I mean? Would you please swear the witness to maintain those documents? Witness sworn in. I certify pages 1 to 6 as a true transcript of my shorthand note of the testimony of blah blah blank blank before the federal grand jury, West Palm Beach, Florida, on the 8th day of May 2007. Dated at West Palm Beach, Florida. Right? Yeah. See, we get a lot of pages where they're blank like this. See where this one's blank. We got a lot of pages like that. I'm thinking, why have they put these pages in? Honest, if they didn't put half the stupid, flipping emails which had no words in it, just the email address in it. If they didn't put all them in, we could cut it down by about 1,500. I really would. So, I'll give it again. Trigger warning. Yes, there's going to be trigger warnings all the way through this. Believe me. And it's like, you still get that discussion, like, oh, did he take his own life, or was he took out? You know what? If someone took him out, then they did us no favours. Because we wanted him to go to court. This is a guy who's at the top of the mountain, everything in his hands. You know what I mean? Money, nice houses, cars, holidays, restaurants, wherever you wanted to go, he went. Right? And now he's got nothing. It was brought down to nothing but a dirty, squalid little sow. Right? And we wanted to see him go through the court process. We wanted that. The victims wanted it, I think. In my eyes, if he took his own life, he took the easy way out. But then again, he was too chicken to face up to what he'd actually done. And if someone took his life, then thank you, but no thank you. We wanted to see him in court. We wanted to see him swerve. You know what I mean? Once he'd been convicted, then free will. You know what I mean? Free range. Whatever you want to do, you can care then. But we wanted to see him go through court, and they took whatever happened, and they never got to take him to court. And then his girlfriend, well, wasn't his girlfriend once he got arrested, they'd split up. There wasn't boyfriend, girlfriend, partner. No, he was with another woman when he was in prison. They'd split up. But she still stuck by him. Never said a word. And they wanted her to testify. You know what she said? Drop the charges against me and I'll testify. What? Something like that. It was like, either drop the charges against her or shorten her time in prison. Get the fuck. You can swim in dog pee for all okay. You're not getting out of that. I wouldn't mind, but she's been sent to a nice cushy prison now. She's in a nice cushy prison. She shouldn't even be in that sort of prison. She should be in the max with everyone else. Anyone else would be there, But oh no, not her. She gets a nice cushy prison. Mm. And she wants more. Get the feck out of here, love. It was just like your father. He was a piece of shit as well. Sorry, but right, what have we got here? It says confidential attorney eyes only, but it's public. It's out there, okay? It says, now this is confusing in a way. It says, so sorry, Jeffrey, these things happen when your body had never been given time to properly heal. So it came out in the toilet and I didn't know what to do, so I just flushed the tiny little fetus. You have made me numb and I hate you for this. Trigger warning, everyone, trigger warning. Please walk away if this is too much for you. Think of your own health. Okay? I hope I never have to see you again. I'm not your personal incubator. Where is the baby? Right, hold on. Where is Ghislaine? Ghislaine. Right? And yeah, it's got, sorry, Jeffrey, these things happen. You know what I mean? It's like she's written in code. So they've had to, it's like the SOORY, and then you got the SR, and then the JEFFERY, THESE, THING. You know what I mean? It's all written in code. So if you look at it, you just think it's a load of letters. But that is why it said, what is being said here is what was said up here. Up here. Right? She wrote it in code. So that is what she's saying here. Okay? Blending, hate this city. It's like she's trying to say, no one sees her. She just blends in. No one sees her. Doesn't see the pain she's going through. Right. It says in 1961. I don't know what I mean by that. Right? And it's like a poem. It says, I blamed her for everything, but she didn't answer. I couldn't understand her stupid behaviour. When I hit her, she held still, like a true pacifist. Then I realised what she wanted was for me to love her. She began to warm up, and I saw her advantages. She's talking about a baby. She's talking about a baby. Without me, she wouldn't exist. So of course she was grateful. I gave her a soul. I bloomed her out of her. I bloomed her out of her a rose. Blooms out of a vase of not very valuable porcelain. And it was I who attracted everybody's attention. Not her whiteness and beauty, as I had at first supposed. I patronised her a little. She lapped it up. You could tell almost at once she had a slave mentality. I didn't mind her waiting on me, and she adored it. In the morning, she woke me. In the morning, she woke me early, reflecting the sun from her amazingly white torso, and I couldn't help but notice her tidiness and her calmness and her patience. She humoured my weakness like the best of nurses, holding my bones in place. They would mend properly. In time, our relationship grew more intense. She stopped fitting. She stopped fitting something. I can't tell that word. So closely it seemed self-offish. I felt her criticising me in spite of herself, as if my babies. Oh, now she's talking about someone else. Sorry. Right? As if my babies offended her in some way. She let in the draft and became more and more absent-minded, and my skin itched and flagged away in soft pieces, simply because he looked after me so badly. Then I saw what the trouble was. She thought she was immortal. She wanted me. She wanted to leave me. She thought she was superior, and I'd been keeping her in the dark, and she was resentful, wasting her days waiting on a half corpse, and secretly she began to hope I'd die. Then she could never, then she could cover my mouth and eyes, cover me entirely, and wear my painted face the way a mummy case wears the face of a pharaoh that is made of mud and water. I wasn't in any position to get rid of her. She supported me for so long I was quite limp. I'd even forgotten how to walk or sit. We're going to see, I think it's a picture. It's got background photo of a courtroom with words, "I stand. You should never be here alone. He should." Through a child's eye, what I wanted was a place where dreams did not stop at dawn. Flashbacks. I won't let pain keep me from surviving. Right? So I'm a bit confused. Had she had one baby before or not? Because now it says tomorrow is a halfway ultrasound for Jeffrey. This one stuck. After they took the first baby who survived. Oh, they took the first baby that survived. So where's that baby? So where's that baby? The one that survived? They took it. And the early miscarriage, I think it was called, I no longer feel like a person but a vessel. Will they take this one too? Who has the first one? Where did Ghislaine go? She's never around. I can't let myself get attached. I'm not old enough or mature enough or even in the place to have a baby that I would be responsible for. I'm not even able to focus on anything other than hiding this again. So she's hid 2 pregnancies from her family. 2 pregnancies. I had to go to eating disorder treatment prior to being in this situation again and missed the entire fall semester of school. I'm so very exhausted. My body feels so tired. Will I ever be free? This young girl had one baby that has survived, had a miscarriage, and was having a third. Where was that first baby? Hi, Kylie. Hi, Michelle. So where's that first baby she had? This young girl, this victim, she'd already had one baby, then she'd had a miscarriage, and now she's pregnant with another one. So where's the first baby? Did they sell it? Give it to a family? What happened to that first baby? That would be what I'd be pushing them for as well. Where's these babies gone that this girl had? You know what I mean? She's hid these pregnancies from her parents, from her caregivers, whoever was in charge of her. She's hid these pregnancies, right? And now she feels like she's just a vessel. Yes, Epstein files. I was just saying earlier, I had about 2,000 files on my USB last week, Wednesday and Thursday, because I've been downloading them Wednesday and Thursday. And on the Friday, I got up, thought, right, I'll get the information I want sorted out, because I knew I wasn't feeling well Friday, so that's why I didn't come on. So I thought, right, I'll go on Sunday. So I thought I'll get the information I need, get it all sorted out, so I haven't got to worry about it, and set the live up for Sunday. Come on my laptop Friday. My USB was already in. Clicked on my files. All my files were empty. Empty. 2,000 PDFs. Gone. I think, who the fuck is messing with my head here? So I said, Simon, please check. Here's my laptop. I've opened up my USB. Check them files. And he's clicking on them. Click, click. Nothing there. He said, there's nothing there, Mum. I said, so I'm not imagining it. I said, I'm not just seeing a blank, empty file. He said, no, there's nothing there, Mum. I said, why? I said, there should be like 2,000 PDFs there. But he said, there isn't. So Friday, I started downloading more again. Even though I wasn't feeling too well, I was doing it. And then Saturday and Sunday, spent on and off in between keeping up with housework and seeing to my cats. I did some more. And then yesterday, I emptied my trash bin on my laptop. Just up to from Friday, Saturday, Sunday. What day are we on now? Tuesday. So yesterday was Monday. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I downloaded over 4,000 files. And what I do is I download it onto my laptop, then transfer it to my USB, then clear it off my laptop. Well, now every night I take my USB out. Guess what? That USB goes in my bedroom with me under my pillow. No one gets hold of that fucking USB. No one. And my son said, don't you trust anyone? I said, I don't trust my own head. For all I know, I could be sleepwalking and doing it. I said, but for 2,000 files to just go poof off my USB. Never known that before. And I said, in some of the files I downloaded last year. Anyway, this is very triggering, this one, what we're looking at the moment. Because, as I said, this is all code. Like that this word there, tomorrow, Tomorrow. You know how and she's writing it. And then she's got E's, TH there, HALF half, WAYY. You know what I mean? And it tells you what it says. What I've just read there, tomorrow is the halfway ultrasound for Jeffrey. So she's having a third pregnancy. She's already had one. It said, yeah. After they took the first baby who survived and the early miscarriage, I think it was called, I no longer feel like a person but a vessel. So where's that first baby gone? Where's that first baby? That's what I want to know. Where's that first baby? She just felt like a vessel. And that's her way of writing code. So if anyone just saw that in a diary or anything, I just think it's letters. Right? And I did that first, and I realised it's her code. It's her code. Right? Alright, another part. I'll say it again. Trigger warning, everyone. I am such a monster. I didn't console her. I can't hear her screams. They haunt me. I couldn't even bring myself to look at her. I am a monster. I deserve to be haunted by her screams. I am so sorry. I am so broken. So she had the third baby. She couldn't even bring herself to look at her. Again, in code. You know what I mean? This was just heartbreaking because to hear a young girl who's now in her 30s possibly, no. But this was written when she was a young girl. She was at school. She was still at school when she was going through all this. She hid 3 pregnancies she had. 3 pregnancies she hid from her mother or father or whoever was her caregiver. You know what I mean? Be it her aunt, or grandmother, whoever. She hid the pregnancies from them. So, and after I read that, I come across that one. I just sat here, literally. I just put my laptop down. I didn't close it down. I just put my laptop down. I thought, I can't even look at the screen. And I just sat here looking out the window, and my friend said, "You okay?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "I'm just trying to get my head sorted out through what I've just read." And then you got him, that piece of shit, taking his own life, and we're supposed to feel sorry for it. No, I don't. He shouldn't have been allowed to take his life. They should have been doing the checks. They should have kept him alive. Because we wanted to see him go to court. Because all that would have been read out and put in the files. That would have been something they would have talked about, brought up in the file, in the court case. This young girl had 3 babies. 1 taken off her, 1 miscarried, and then a third one, which was obviously took off her as well. Where were they? Who had your babies? Well, it's hard to say. You know what I mean? The guards didn't do their job. They didn't do the checks like they're supposed to. They lied on all the forms. That I've got the information here about that. and that's going to be another live about the guards and their site, the special housing unit he was in. Right. I think there's a couple of videos I can find on that as well. But then, where am I? Files. No. This. Right. I'm just going to take this off the screen a minute. Because this is another one. Another bad one, this one is. I haven't got his autopsy report yet, no. Because I say, like, on the DOJ files, right, it's classed as data set 1, data set 2, data set 3, data set 4. And in each data and each set, you've got something like, well, in data 8, data set 8, I've got over 100. I'll show you. Right, I'll show you what I mean. And I can't download them in bulk. And so, but then again, you don't want to because you need to check them because some of these email messages are just jibber jab, right? And some you do want to take note, right? Right. Oh, let me go. Right. I'm going to share this with you. Right. See that? You've got Epstein's Files Transparency Act, right? And you got data set 1, set 2, set 3, set 4, set 5, all the way down to set 12. 1 and 2 are mainly all photos of them, right? I can't remember what 3 is, but at the moment I'm on set 8, data set 8, view files, right? There is like anything between 46 and 50 PDFs. And you've got not just one, you got that one, another 50 PDFs. And it goes up. And at the point, I am on like 105 doing this. Alright? The first 4, 5, and 6, set 4, 5, 6, and 7, I went through literally in 2 days. Right? I've spent 2 days just on this data set 8 files. And that's working, downloading it from, you know what I mean? And each set is like 50 PDFs. Each one you click on, you got 50 PDFs. Yes, I've been hearing that, Annie. Reverend Jonathan Sophie, I don't believe he's alive. Oh, not Red Rum, yeah. Yeah, I've been hearing that. But why would they not? Why would they protect him? What has he got to give them? Eh? What's he got to give them? And I did, when I was downloading these files, I did download some pictures that was in these PDFs. And I'm not sure if those are pictures of him lying on the ground when he first tried to commit suicide, because he tried before in the SHU, right? And then he's put in this other wing where he's being watched 24/7. And then they was told he could not be in a cell on his own. He had to have someone in there with him. But then that person got moved out the SHU, so he was in the cell on his own. Instead of them giving him someone else in that cell with him, they left him on his own. So I don't know. Anyway, I've got pictures of him lying on some sort of slab or something, concrete floor, but I'm not sure if it's from when he tried to commit suicide the first time or when he done it the second time. So but there's so many. You think each one I click on, I've got 50 PDFs to download. And as I said, some of them, hold on, when I can get my mouse to work. Some of them are, let's have a look. Oh, this is going to be a big file because it's moving slowly. It's going to be more than 2 pages, put it that way. I can always tell when it's going. Plus, I know by the distance between the next file how many pages is in this file. It's like, say this is number 47 and the next PDF is number 57. I know there's 10 pages in this file. Yeah, 55 pages in this file. Alright. But there's some. See what I mean? I've just got blank pages. Fucking blank pages. Have I? Oh no, I ain't sorry. Thank God for that. I'm going to say, I've downloaded this file. I shouldn't have had just blank pages. But then, let's go to another one. I'll try and find one which is more. This, right, yeah. See this? Oh, we've got lots of PDFs like that. Fucking lots of them. What the fuck? Why have they put these in? You don't know who's from, you don't know who's to, you don't know the subject. All you know is the date. And what it is, it's attorney narrative 82820 Epstein VCP claim submission reduced PDF. Boom. Nothing. So I don't even download them ones. Then you've got this one. It's got attached is Maxwell's response to the motion to squash a Rule 17 subpoena. I will not download that. That's just stupid. They have put every fucking email in. Everyone. From hello, good morning, or hi, I won't be around for the next week. I'm away. Okay. Well, can you give a phone call and just said that? Did you have to send an email? It's so. It's like the DOJ, the Department of Justice, have thought, okay, they want us to put these files out, open them up to the public. We'll give them everything, and they've just literally bombarded us with every piece of information, every email, every record of a phone call, everything. But you know what? Makes me so determined to go through every one of these files because I know they're hiding something. I know they're hiding something in one of the, somewhere along these files. They're hiding something. It's like they think, wow, it could be the last fucking file I ever download in set 12. That could be the bomb of it all. You know what I mean? It's like they're hoping that we give up after so many of, oh, hello, good morning. Oh, I won't be here next week. Oh, can you get in touch with such and such? Here's a link. Here's this. Here's that. Okay. The amount of emails, it's ridiculous. He's where he is buried or notice of death is on his brother's won't say either. I think this is why people think he's still alive, maybe. Possible, but why would they keep that piece of shit alive? You know what I mean? He can't go out anywhere. He can't have anyone over because, you know what I mean? He can't. People are going to recognise him straight away. No, he was a chicken. He's gone. He's a dead one. Kaput. He's a chicken. He took the easy way out. He probably thought, well, if I kill myself, then Ghislaine, or whatever her name is, right, will get off because they've got nothing on her. It was all me. So if I'll top myself, she won't go down. How wrong he was. She went down for 20 years. And you know what? She's in a nice cushy prison. And she still demands. Like when she's in the one prison, the SHU, in the women's prison, wherever it was, she was complaining about the damp, the smell, the coldness. She wasn't sleeping. She wasn't eating. Oh, your heart breaks. When you read some of these emails from her defence team, your heart really breaks for that woman. Yeah, this is straight from the Justice Department. They've literally just dropped every fucking email they have sent in this during that case. Every email they've sent, every phone call they've made, boom, they've just dropped it all in. I think you could have saved yourself about 3,000 PDFs, maybe more, if they hadn't just thrown all those stupid emails in. Yes, I've got all that, the SHU. I have got all that information, and that is going to be another live because I know I was watching a video about it, so I thought we'd do that. But what I have got, right, I'm going to now, as I said, this is trigger warning, everyone. Come on, open up. Why is this not opening up? Right, let's get this sorted out. Right. This is trigger warning. Trigger warning. Please think of your own health, your own sanity. I'm going to have to literally zone out when I finish this live tonight before I go to bed. I'll have to zone out for a bit. Find some wacky, funny TV program I can watch to zone out of it. Right? Now, you thought that first one I was reading where it was all in code was bad. Listen to this one. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Don't speak. She doesn't talk. I can't stop shaking, and it's been a week. A decision was made, but I can't tell Jeffrey. These things happen. Why did I close my eyes? Why didn't I close my eyes fast enough? The doctor was different again. So this ain't the first time. The doctor was different again. I think from Israel. He had kind eyes, but didn't speak to me directly. Didn't speak directly to me. This was different. And a shot and those rod-like things had a hook. Had so much pain. Ghislaine said to push all the pain away. I don't understand. B-L-O-O-D. I can't say the word because I know it's silly, but I can't. And water fell all over the bed, and she was right. Like a feeling when your tummy hurts and you have to push. She said to close my eyes and put my hands over my eyes, but I didn't close them because of these tiny cries. I am so lost. I saw between her fingers this tiny head and body in the doctor's hands. It reached its tiny arm up and had a little foot. I closed my eyes and no more. Again, I'm not sure if this is the same girl that wrote this, that wrote the first one, is the one who's writing this. Again, it's in code. CLOSEOYOUREYES. You know what I mean? It's in code. Christ, I don't understand. Just say these things happen. Right? So Ghislaine has arranged for the abortion. Just say these things happen. She's literally telling that young girl to tell him she had a miscarriage. But he doesn't believe that. They yelled and screamed, and he said it would be the same in a couple of months. And she said she was fed up with it all. I don't understand what is going on, and no one will tell me. I can't go to school like this. Again, as I said, I don't know if this is the same girl that from the first one I read. I can't go to school like this. I can't stop shaking. Why won't anyone make it stop? I know Ghislaine is trying, but nothing changes. Why didn't I close my eyes? There again. Or I think it might be the same girl because it's in code. Unless I was taught to write in code like that. In the hall, Ghislaine said she was beautiful. She was. Not is. She was a beautiful girl, I heard her. Where is she? Why did she stop whimpering? She was born. I heard the tiny cries. I can't do this anymore. These poems do not leave. It's a sad diagnosis. They grew their toes and fingers swelling up, their little foreheads bulged with concentration. If they missed out on walking about like people, it wasn't for any lack of mother love. Oh, I cannot understand what happened to them. They are proper in shape and number every pass. They sit so nicely in the pickling fluid. They smile and smile and smile and smile at me, and still the lungs won't fill, and the heart won't start. They are not pigs. They are not even fish. Though they have a piggy and fishy air, it would be better if they weren't alive, and that's what they were. But they are dead, and then another. They're dead with distraction, and they stupidly, and do not speak of her. He was right. A couple of months and 2 pink lines with a hold on being with others until after it was a positive. So it's like he was trying to get these girls pregnant. A couple of months and 2 pink lines with a hold on being with others. So you know what I mean? She wasn't being given to anyone else. She was just being kept for him until after it was positive. I want to. So once it was positive she was pregnant, yeah, she can go with anyone she wants then because I know that's my baby inside her. Yeah. I want to die. Why didn't you protect me? As long as I am wearing what you want, there is no respect for me as human. I am nothing but your property and incubator. You only trust me when I am under your complete control. I'll never trust another man ever. I am the only one who provides and sacrifices everything. I give and give out of terror, and you take all of me. You need me to continue, keep us all connected, keeping us all connected. You know what I mean? Clipping, unlike drugs, a child's body can be sold over and over. This is not surprising, but there is no such thing as a child prostitute. They are children and cannot consent. They are missing the biggest in my own backyard and so many more. Like Mar-a-Lago and where I see Mr. Joe and Mrs. Anne. Please release me from this torture and hell. This is a young schoolgirl. The headline below is not a metaphor. This story is about slaves, not people living like slaves, working hard for lousy pay, not people 200 years ago. It's about 27 million people worldwide who are brought and sold, held captive, brutalized, exploited for profit. Controlled all by Jeffrey all the time. Get away from it all and go to New Mexico. What in the hell? This makes no sense. What about school? Behind the scenes. He's now controlling everything. When it used to be Ghislaine, who some days acts like she hates me. Secrets of all of them. I'm tired of keeping this secret. I know people are wondering, but I can't tell. I am exhausted. Broken promises. I don't understand why she's treating me on some days like I'm the enemy, but then we lay in bed together and she's how she used to be, warm. It makes her feel like to me, and it's so sad and confusing. Superior gene pool. Why me? It makes no sense. Why my hair colour and eye colour? That feels like very Nazi-like. But in thinking about these stupid, insane theories he has, I guess in his mind it makes sense. The piano and music comments are made to convince me this is right and will create perfect offspring, he calls them. I don't think it works that way, and it's making me hate playing altogether. Piano or viola, I'm starting to resent them both. I miss the person I was before I was made into what feels a human incubator. God. My friend, blank, realised much of everything and came to get me out of Mary's. She made me leave all things of value on the bed. She put all my belongings in trash bags. I have maybe avoided NM. I don't know who NM is. I've been staying with friends, but never more than 2 or 3 nights because my mother is on the warpath. Blank had been so great, but Blank saw me changing and knows about the baby. He said he promises to help me and we'll figure out what to do. You know what I mean? This is a young girl. My heart belonged to her. She was so very beautiful. She was perfect. I can't bring myself to write what happened. I'm beyond broken. I only got 10 to 15 minutes to hold and feed her before they took her. She's mine. I want her back. You know what I mean? This young girl was he was getting this young girl pregnant time and time and time again. And Ghislaine would arrange abortions. Why? Was she jealous that these young girls were having his babies and not her? But then again, I can't wrap my head around why they would do this. So where are these babies going that they was having? What happened to these babies? Help me, please can't anyone find me? April 22nd, I had no choice. I wasn't ready and she wasn't ready. My mother had found me and it was urgent. After so many bonding moments with Jeffrey Ghislaine, the baby inside me with me, in the middle, she wouldn't even look at me. We said nothing's wrong in that, and I was so confused. When she arrived at Palm Beach, I was taken to a house close to Jeffrey's, I think called Ocean Boulevard or Street. But it was closed, and I was alone except for one driver, not Mr. Durand. An elderly French lady whose pictures on the wall didn't have her. She had a thick accent and was kind. Said she had been born to deliver babies and had been doing so before I was born. So they're having these babies outside of hospital. So no one knew about them. Similar as the last one, we shot too much blood with so much water and unbearable pain. Oh, so she didn't have an abortion. Oh, okay. She put her hands inside of me and seemed worried. Didn't understand something about the baby facing wrong way and put, right, yep, you know that. Pressure on a placenta. Things would have to be different. She said I had to be brave and strong and listen to her directions so she could help me safely get the baby out. I was terrified, seeing so much blood on the bed and floor and started to panic. She had me flip over onto my hands and knees and had me push and push, and it was so excruciating. I could feel everything as she tried to guide the baby out, but I was so tired. I felt I was dying, but suddenly she had caught a beautiful baby girl who made more than a whimper but beautiful cries. She told me she let me hold her and washed and brought her back clean and perfect. She smelled so good and showed me how to feed her. But only after 15 minutes, Mr. M came to take her. I was hysterical and begging for more time. He said those horrible girls were in the car waiting, but I wouldn't let her go. The old woman promised me she would be safe, and I had to let go. £4, 10 ounces, 18 inches. That isn't very heavy, £4. You know what I mean? But when you think she's been keeping all these pregnancies a secret, you know what I mean? At one stage, they sent her to what's her name, an eating disorder clinic because they thought she had an eating disorder. Right? I am dead inside. Life has no meaning. I don't want to be here. So, yep. Hi, Jen Jen. Hi, Neuro. Sorry I didn't see you coming. So, but what these young girls went through was just unbelievable. That's why I said this was trigger warning, because of those two files I've just read about the pregnancies and everything. My question is, where are these babies? Yeah. Oh God, Nero. It's like they've just literally bombarded every email. As soon as I knew these files are going to be released, right? It was like, okay, we're going to release these files. Every email, every piece of, even if you scribble something on a piece of paper, photograph it, it's going in the files. And that's what they've done. They've put every email, every recorded phone message, every scribble, every note, everything has gone into it. I thought half of this won't be used in court. So why is it in the files? They have put all the photos of Epstein and Ghislaine, whatever her name is, right? All those thousands of photos of her and him and her on her own and him on his own and walking around here and visiting here and sitting here. Photos of a door, a damaged door, photo of oil paintings on the wall, photos of windows, photos of this. What? Thousands of photos. They've put it all in. They've just literally bombarded us and they're hiding something. And I thought they're hiding something. So that's why I'm going through every single file. This is what one file looks like. No. Oh, let me share this. Right? There's 50 PDFs there. 50. Right? You think, oh, that's not too bad, 50. Oh no. This is file 25 with 50 PDFs in. You got 24 other files before that one. And what set are we on? Set 8. You've got over 100 of these because I'm on file 105. 105. I've been downloading this set data set 8 for the past 2 days or 3. Yeah, because Friday I did 4, 5, 6, and 7 on Friday. I did 4 lots on Friday. Then Saturday, Sunday, and yesterday I've been doing data set 8. I'll show you. Hold on. I'll show you something else. I don't know if I can do this. Hold on. I'll see if I can do this. I don't know if I can get it up on my screen. Screen yard. Share screen. Yeah. USB drive. Right? Add to stage. That is my USB drive, right? I've got Epstein files. Data 4, 5, 6, 7, data 8. In data 8, I've got files 1 to 25, 26 to 50, 51 to 75, 76 to 100. And now I'm on the other one, which is 101 to 125. I'm doing 25 lots in each one. Right? That is just set 8. I am not even halfway through this on set 8. I'm really not. Tell me about it. But a lot of it is just waffle. Waffle. You open some of these links up, PDF things, you go, it's like an email. Morning. Yeah. Anything else? No. Sometimes there's nothing even there. It's just a blank fucking email. What? Why aren't you? That's what I mean. They're putting so much stuff in there they didn't need to put in. It's just to throw us all off. It's like they're hoping we'll give up. No, I'm sorry. Pardon? There are another 3 million that have not been released. Are you? Fuck's sake. Ooh. Oh my lord. So my friend's coming in. She's only worked till 9 now. The shop closes at 9, so she gets home a bit earlier now. Anyway, so another 3 million. Why haven't they been released then? They're supposed to be releasing them all, aren't they? But honest, it's heartbreaking what these girls went through. So I've now also got, hold on, I'll take this off. Because I want to just play a little bit of this. I'm not playing it all. I just want to show you the arrogance of this guy. The arrogance of him. And what a piece of shit he is. He's literally took the fifth on every question asked him. He takes the fifth. Okay? It goes, because it's literally saying, if I answer any of these questions, my lawyers won't work for me. That's what he's saying. So I'll turn it up as much as I can. So hopefully you can hear it better. Oh, what am I doing? Oh. Maybe it's there. Ah, why is it not fucking sharing? Why is it not sharing? Okay, I'll stop sharing. I'll do it this way then, yeah, basically. Jump in. Yeah. Oh, I said that new. I said she's as bad as her father. Her father was a piece of shit as well. But honest, some of the emails. Oh, I was saying as well. I found out who the invisible. If you come across any emails from the Invisible Man and signed off with the letter A, guess who that is? I'll wait for you to tell me in chat while I set this up. He goes by the email of the Invisible Man and he signs all his emails off with A. If you're from England, you should know this one. Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, the Invisible Man is Andrew Mountbatten. They're no longer Prince Andrew. He's mentioned so many times in these files. Yeah. He's mentioned so many. He gives himself away like he's talking in one email about how him and his girls had been out somewhere that day. I'm not sure if they was up by Moral or somewhere. And he said, the girls are tired, he said, so it looks like they'll be going to bed early tonight. And then he's talking about when his butler died. Oh, I was so heartbroken for Andy. I was. His butler, who he's had from a child, died. I was so heartbroken for Andy. Because he'd have to wipe his own ass. You know what I mean? I thought, oh my Lord. I know you've known him all your life, but the way he put it across in this email, and I've got it marked in the files. I'll just go for them. Anything with Andrew in it, honey. It's been marked out so I can see. So, yeah. But he's mentioned a lot. So if you do get these files and you come across emails with from the Invisible Man and he signs off with the letter A, you know it's Andrew, the ex-royal. And he deserves to be the ex. So, anyway, we're just going to have a quick listen to this. Okay.
Accepting as it relates to the charges you pled guilty to, are you saying today that those females that you interacted with sexually were prostitutes prior to meeting you?
I'm saying I pled guilty to the solicitation of prostitution.
Right, and you would certainly agree that would require yourself and one other individual for that act of prostitution, correct?
Form. Also calls for a legal conclusion. I pled guilty to solicitation of prostitution.
And are you saying that those females that were the victims, at least listed as victims by the state, were prostitutes prior to meeting you?
Form. Vague. Irrelevant. I pled guilty to solicitation of prostitution.
Okay. Do you have any remorse for your actions against these victims that led to your plea of guilty?
Form argumentative. I pled guilty to solicitation of prostitution, not underage prostitution, simply prostitution.
Are you saying now that the subjects of that, which we're calling victims, were not underage when you engaged in sex with them?
Form argumentative, speculation, and assumes facts not in evidence, as well as mischaracterizes the witness's testimony. I pled guilty to solicitation of prostitution, not underage prostitution, solicitation of prostitution.
I was of the impression that you pled guilty to a second-degree felony, that being procuring a minor for the purposes of prostitution.
That's correct.
Okay, so a minor is somebody under the age of 18, and I'm asking for the guilty plea related to that count Are you at all remorseful for your interactions with that minor?
Same objections. What minor?
The charge is procuring a minor. You tell me, who was that minor?
I don't know.
You were never told during your during the state attorney's prosecution of you who this person was?
No.
Why did you plead guilty to a felony charge that resulted in you going to jail, without even knowing who the victim was?
Form that question calls for attorney-client information, and therefore I'm going to instruct him.
If it has something to do with any conversations with your attorney, I don't want to know. I'm just going off of the plea colloquy between you and the judge, where you understood the charges and you've been advised and apprised of the charges, and you still willfully pled guilty to the charges. So I'm taking now that you're saying you don't even know what those charges were about.
What was the question? I don't know the question on the table now.
Who was the minor?
I don't know.
And you were never told the name or initials of that minor victim by the state attorney's office or the prosecutor?
Not that I recall.
Well, just so that the jury understands, this method of paying underage minor females to bring you other underage minor females for sex is something that you do in New York, in New Mexico, in Florida, and everywhere. It's not just West Palm Beach. Isn't that right?
Again, form, it's compound. Again, it assumes facts not in evidence. It's argumentative. It's harassing. And moreover, we've already been down this road before in separate related questions that have already been asked and answered.
I'd like to respond to each one of your questions. However, today my attorneys advised me I cannot. And they advised me I must assert my Sixth Amendment right, my Fifth Amendment right, my 14th Amendment right under the U.S. Constitution. Therefore, that's what I'm going to do.
Where is the calendar or schedule of your underage sex appointments?
Form, speculation.
Again?
I'm sorry.
Sorry, you said what?
Witness said again.
Where is the calendar or schedule that's kept for you of your underage sex appointments? Your appointments for sex with underage females?
Same objection.
And if there's not one, you can tell me there's not one.
See you on the next live, Jing Jing.
It's fine.
I'd like to answer each one of your questions today. However, I've been advised by counsel that I must assert my Fifth Amendment, Sixth Amendment, and 14th Amendment rights under the U.S. Constitution, or risk losing their representation. Therefore, I'm going to have to assert those constitutional rights, though I'd like to answer that question.
I don't see the point in these depositions because they're never going to answer the questions. I've seen many depositions, many, and they never answer the questions. Never. So I can't see the point in them, right? And as for my English, you know who else it reminds me of? That other couple, oh God. Oh. What was their names? The couple who had that house and they unalived their own daughter. Who was he? God, the husband and wife, and they unalived their own daughter. Ah. And he killed him. He committed suicide as well. And she took the fall. Fred and Rose, yeah. Mac Giseline reminds me of Rose. Yeah. Because she was younger than him as well. She was only young when she met Fred. Rose was. So, you notice it's like the women involved are the ones who who kind of like know what's happening and facilitate it. You know what I mean? There you go. They facilitate it. And in my eyes, and Fred committed suicide there. And what happened with the other couple? They both went to prison, didn't they? Myra and he went. He didn't die. He died, but he didn't commit suicide. Pack it in. I'll meow you in a minute. Right. Yeah, they orchestrated. They got the girls in. But what I can't understand, and I said it earlier, when they brought the first few girls in, right, they would then pay these girls to bring other girls in. And they're bringing in their sisters or their cousins or their friends from school. Why? Why? When they knew that what had happened to them, these girls are going to suffer the same. Why would they do that? Fred died, Brady died, Hunt died, Huntley I think is alive. Yeah, he's Huntley. He's the one who's tried to say he's changed his sex. Ian Huntley. Trying to say he's changed his sex to a female. Yeah, right. Yeah, but Fred committed suicide before he went to court, before he went to trial. I think he was in Winston Green Prison when he died. And Winston Green Prison is in Birmingham. I did not know he was in that prison. But I don't understand his depositions because they're never going to answer the questions. It's a waste. It's like they're there for like a whole day sort of thing, having these questions fired on. I'll take the 6th, the 5th, and the 4th. I'd like to answer these questions, but I can't. My lawyers advised me not to because I will lose all counsel. If he answered any questions, he's saying if he answered any of these questions, he would lose his counsel. Right, he'd lose his lawyers. Yeah, that's what I last heard, I'm sure. Hold on. Let me have a look. That can go now. That can go brown. That can go. Ian Huntley. Let's see. I'm trying to see if there's anything here. But I did hear something like that. And her as well. Right, his girlfriend as well. She knew about it. And she hid it. She knew what he'd done and she hid it. So I'll have to have a look up on that. But I'm sure I heard somewhere is now he's trying to get his sex changed to a woman. That's what I heard. So I don't know how true it is, but I heard no. God. Yeah. it's and to be honest with you, with what's his name, Myra Hingley and Brady and Myra, right? Brady and Hingley. I don't think it was so much the SX of it. I think it was more the that was like not the first thought. It was more the unaliving of him that gave him his kicks. You know what I mean? He got more out of the unaliving of these children, Brady did, than anything else. But this, what I've shown tonight, is only not even the cherry. It's not even the icing. It's like, you think of a sponge cake, the ingredients you need. It's maybe a quarter or a fifth of one egg to make that cake. So I will do more because I want to take the focus off the girls a bit, the women, because I think they've been through enough. Yeah. And they said their names have been put out there, but I haven't come across anything yet. That's why I am going. Everything I put out tonight, I checked and double checked and checked again to make sure no names were being put out there. Nothing apart from theirs. You know what I mean? But no other names. If it's like Prince Andrew, then yeah, I'll put his name out there. I could probably pull up his emails. So, and there's a list of names of celebrities, 300 celebrities that have been to his homes, to his houses. One of them was Blair, Tony Blair. And what about, Andy, his ex-wife? What the feck was she thinking of? She took her 2 daughters to meet him this was after the first time he got arrested and then got bail or something, right? She took them, her daughters, to meet Epstein then. Because people say, well, those only little girls. So no, there was like 20 plus, 20s, in the 20s, when she took them. The age he likes them. You know what I mean? That's it, Fergie. There's at the age he likes them. And she took her 2 girls there. What the hell was she thinking? And this was after the first arrest. He got off the first time. You know what I mean? I don't know what happened with that one, the first one, but he walked. But they got him again. He thought he got away with it, but he didn't. So, yeah, Branson. But not everyone on that list. Yeah, they might be on the list, but it doesn't mean they were illicit to what was going on. Like, you think of P. Diddy, right? He had these parties. And I remember one person saying, he went to this party one night, and there was a party on this one floor going on, and then he noticed people going up these stairs and coming down these stairs, so he thought he'd go up there. And as he's going up, this one guy who's coming down said, you don't want to go up there, mate. Because it was upstairs where all the illicit stuff was going on. The DI, all the rugs, the SX, and all that lot was going on up there. So a lot of people didn't know Or if they did know, they turned a blind eye to it, but they didn't go up in that section, they stayed on the bottom section. Because they said Harry was at one of these parties. He probably on that bottom section. He didn't go up to the higher section. And you wouldn't have been there long anyway. They never are at these parties, the royals. Unless it's Angie. Then you'd be up on the second section. But what was it everyone was saying about Michael Jackson? Right? It's come out now. I've always said he was not a child molester. He was not a child molester. Right? I've always said that. Yeah. Right? And now the truth has come out. Michael Jackson knew about P. Diddy. He knew about Epstein. And he was doing everything. He'd say to these young kids, come to my house, I've got like a Disney, you know what I mean? You can do anything you want. There was nothing illicit going on with Michael. He was a child himself. He just wanted these kids to have fun. Yeah? Now, some of these kids have spoken out and said, if it wasn't for him, we'd have probably ended up with P. Diddy or Epstein. Yeah, he was trying to protect the kids. I just wish he'd got hold of, what's his name? Oh, the one P. Diddy had. Justin. He couldn't get Justin to come over to his way. He couldn't. You know what I mean? Now, if he had, Justin would still be going now. Right? But P. Diddy done it for him. But Michael Jackson saved a lot of kids by having them at his Neverland, where they could have fun, they'd have the meals, they'd have food, whatever they wanted to eat, they could eat. You know what I mean? And yet everyone was saying he's a pedo. I always said, he's not. He's just having a life which he never had himself as a child, which he didn't. If you've ever watched any films and documentaries on Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5, he didn't have a childhood. From a young age, I think he was what, 5, 6, something like that, he was singing with his brothers. His life was hard because of his dad and everything. So when he got to the position where he could buy this property and fit it out and have these zoos there and have like a Disney World thing there and all that lot there for the kids, he done it because that's something he never got to do as a child. Justin Timberlake, yeah, Justin. He wanted him to come to his, and he couldn't get Justin Timberlake to come over. He went to P. Diddy. But he knew, if you listen to Michael Jackson's songs, there's one song where he says something about a person lives just down the road from you. And just down the road from him lived P. Diddy. He knew about P. Diddy and he knew about Epstein. Justin Bieber, yeah. Not Justin Timberlake. Justin Bieber. But it's a shame you know what I mean? When all this come out about P. Diddy, he lost it again. It's sort of like, he was getting on track with his wife and his child and all this lot. Then it all come out again. And it's a shame. Well, this is what people like him here on the screen does. And then they've got their facilitators like Maxwell. I can't even say his name. Maxwell, who facilitates it. It's traumatized. Yeah. He needs to talk to someone about it because we know something went on. We know something went on. He needs to talk to someone in private, like a psychiatrist or someone, where he can get it out and talk about it. And know that whatever he said is said in complete confidentiality. That no one else will know about it. So, anyway, as I said, I'm not playing all that deposition because yeah, she released the victims' names, but as I said, I have not come across anything yet with their names in. I've seen emails where they've been back and forth. We've had this victim come up, blah, 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 like on a testify, blah, blah, blah. But no names have been mentioned. I've seen emails but no names mentioned. Even Jane 1, Jane Doe 1, Jane Doe 2, and things like that. I've not seen their names mentioned yet. Yeah. She should have released them. Well, she should have checked the paperwork before it got released. She's depending on her staff to make sure all those names were. But what she's done is they've redacted all the names of the people involved, but not redacted the victims' names. But as I said, I've not seen any work here where it's got such and such or whatever. It's all Jane Doe 1, Jane Doe 2, Jane Doe 3. No names. But I know they're hiding something because of how they've literally just bombarded us with all these stupid bits of paper, emails, stupid bits. You've got every phone record, every record of every phone call made. You know what I mean? Every voicemail, which is something like 30 seconds long, and you got you know how you are when you get to a voicemail, you don't know what you want to say, and it's like oh, I'll phone you back tomorrow. It's things like that, and I'm going, why have they put these in? This isn't what we asked for. Yes, I'll be back on Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Don't worry. Don't worry. I haven't forgot my sweet boy. I will be back on him. But I just want to cover the Epstein files a bit more. And then I'll be back on Sebastian. Don't you worry. I'm not letting go of that case. Even on all my social network sites, my X, it's got him pinned at the top. My Facebook, it's got him pinned at the top. My YouTube channel, one with the most videos is Sebastian. So it's just heartbreaking though when you go through these files and you have to read them because you don't know what's in them. Sometimes you can see what's in the emails, but some of them aren't emails. Some of them are like transcripts, so you need to read them. Some of them might be like the one I read earlier about the FBI agent. Right? And things like that. So, but I'll do. I want to cover. There's a lot more on him yet. Well, you're just seeing how that one girl wrote in code. she used 2 rows to break the words down. You know what I mean? And like massage. We all know what a massage is in his, you know what I mean? Christ, I knew from a young age, because I think I was still in junior school at the time, and my brothers would walk us down to school in the mornings. And he'd finished secondary school, so he used to walk us down to school in the mornings. And there's this one shop opened up, and it had massage parlour. And my brother said, he seen me looking at the place, he said, "Get away from there now." I didn't even know what a massage parlour was. I'd never seen one, never heard of one. Right? I was about, what, 10? 9, 10? So I'd never heard of one. So I asked him, I said, "What is a massage parlour?" He said, "Well, it's where you go to get a body massage, where they put oils and rub your body and loosen all your muscles up." He said, "But you don't want to be going to that one." And I looked at him and went, "You don't want to be going to that one." And it's the way he said it to me, I knew, okay, that's out of bounds. You know what I mean? Something wasn't, it's the way his tone of voice, he didn't say, I did this or that or whatever. It's the way he said it, right? And I just thought, okay, whatever he's saying, trying to tell me, it's not good. So yeah, that because it's like they asking me on here about the word massage and certain words they use. Yeah, they are. And this is why you got to stop all these illegals coming in. Right? And you've got to stop all these people saying, "Oh, she's coming in on a work visa for this or this and this," and she's not. Fanny's new show out on HT is Eyes Opening. HT. What's HT? I don't know what HT is. I know Netflix. I swear to God, Kat, you keep it up, I'm going to declaw you. Bobby, behave. I'll be going to bed soon. Oh, right, okay. Oh, right, I'll have to watch that then. Vanished. What is it on Netflix? Or what? But it's really scary to think it's still going on today. Alright. I'll have to watch it on my TV in my bedroom because I can't remember my password for my Netflix. Well, actually I'm getting an extended wire to go from my router, because for some reason my TV box won't work unless it's connected to my router box. Never ever had that before. Right? It will not work without being connected to my router box. So I've got to get an extended wire to go all along the front window, up the side of my door, over the top of my door, down the side of my door, along towards my TV unit, and then behind my back of my TV unit. So I need a good length. So I want to order that this month, so I can get my TV box up and working again. Right? Because I've got my Netflix on there. I haven't got to worry about my code, my password. But anyway, if you want to hear, would you like to hear more of this, Nero? Not of this tonight. Would you like me to cover more of this case? Because there's so much I can talk about on this case. I do want to do two more at least. One about the SHU, the safe housing unit for him, right? And one about Maxwell. Okay, thanks. But so I've got at least two more I want to do on this. But as I said, the information isn't coming in. It's like they haven't got all the information about him first, and then Maxwell, and then this, and then that. It's all over the place. You got an email from Maxwell here, and an email for Epstein about his counsel emailing. It's all over the place. It's not in. You know what I mean? So trying to sort it all out and getting the emails you want, or the pieces of work you want to look at and discuss, time consuming. But I've got all the information for like the next one I want to do. And I've got most of the information I want to do for Maxwell as well. So, yeah. But I just want to do the SHU, Safe Housing Unit, on him tomorrow. Then choosing a safe housing unit as well. She's now in a nice cushy prison, you know. She's in a nice cushy prison. And she will not testify. At this, they've got this big thing going on about this case still. And she won't give no information to them. Unless they cut her time down. Yeah, Hal will freeze over, you fucking evil bitch. Hal will freeze over before you get any time. Oh, she wants clemency. But she's not getting it. She's not getting him. She can do the full 20 years for all I can. I'm mad that she's only got 20 years. 20 years for what she did. If it is her in prison. Oh, believe me, some of these emails complaining about how her council are sending emails complaining about how her sally's damp, it's cold, she's only got one blanket, she's got no mattress, she can't sleep, she's not eating. And when I was reading some of these emails, I'm thinking, well, okay, I'll tell you what, we'll put her in the plaza. Penthouse in the plaza, shall we? Buffet meals whenever she wants. Yeah? Get stuffed. It's her in prison. It's her. I don't see how they will keep him alive. They wanted him to give evidence. They didn't want him to die. They went through all that to get him in court. And then it does that. That happens. They will not be happy. That is like years of work. God. Right? So they will not give him a deal. So I'm going to have to go anyway because I've been on here 2.5 hours. So I will be back tomorrow night. And we'll be looking at him again. But what happened in the SHU? Okay? Because I was watching something where it showed videos of them, how they did the checks on the in the SHU units. Can't remember where I saw it. It must have been on here somewhere. Because I only ever watch YouTube, so it must be in here. So, okay, before I go, one last question. What do you think of the Nancy Guthrie case? Okay. But it's like trying to find all the paperwork and get it all together when it's all in different PDFs or all in different sections of the files. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. But there's so much in this case. So much. And I feel sorry for the women. And I feel sorry for that woman who took her life in the end. Because she must have been living with some demons, because she did a documentary about it and she was talking about her life, how she got married and she was living a good life and all this stuff. And then she goes and unlives herself. I'm thinking, why? She must have had some hell of some demons in her. Who's breaking news on Epstein when her mother went missing? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Everyone said, though, when she went missing, this is what I couldn't understand. They kept saying, oh, it's got to do the Epstein, it's got to do the Epstein. I'm thinking, what's Epstein got to do with Nancy Guthrie? And it's because Savannah's husband is a CEO or something of one of the corporations that was in with Epstein. And then she does an interview with 6 of the survivors. I'm not calling them victims, the survivors. 6 of the survivors. I heard that last night. Kayla Ray or Kayla something. Yeah, but did you notice what day she went into prison? Did you notice what day? She was put in prison on the 12th of this month. On the 13th, what happened? The big police raid on her ex-boyfriend's home. She was took into prison on the 12th, and on the 13th, there's a big raid on her ex-boyfriend's home. Has she made a deal with them? I've got some information on the Nancy Guthrie case. To get a lesser sentence or something. Yeah. She got arrested or picked up on the 12th, and on the 13th, her ex-boyfriend, who was both 10 years ago charged with theft, I think it was, or something like that. Both of them, him and her together, were charged 10 years ago. And then suddenly she gets picked up for something else on the 12th and put in prison. And on the 13th, her ex-boyfriend's being picked up. I don't believe in coincidences. I really don't. Anyway, I'm going to leave you all. Thank you all for being here tonight. Hope you had a lovely. Hope this has opened your eyes to a bit. And I'm sorry if it was triggering to anyone, because it was a bit hard. I'm sort of like desensitized to all that now. But yeah, I have the JLR on nearly all day. As soon as he goes live, I have him on my YouTube. I just have it running all day while I'm on my laptop. And I've got my laptop table positioned now so I can be on my laptop and watch TV as well. Anyway, I'm going to go. And thank you all for being here. Please hit that like button. It really does help. And I will see you on the next one. Till then, stay safe. Hold on. Thank you, Anne, and thank you for being here, and everyone else for being here. Thank you so much. Anyway, until then, stay safe. Oh, God, why won't it work? Oh, God, I'm hitting the wrong button, that's why.